A lot going on right here if you're watching the video portion. Welcome to Shed Talk. Talk show, not a podcast. It's a shed talk. It's a talk show, okay? Episode 8, I believe we are on. I'm on this ESPN website, and this ad keeps popping up, taking up the whole screen. I'm about to throw a bomb on my computer. But, as you can see from, which I'm hoping is going to be the thumbnail, and also, if you're watching just the video right now, I've got a cup of coffee and a thing of campsite lasagna. No, the lasagna is not in the coffee cup. I've got a bowl for it, okay? I'm not that much of a savage. But, special. I had complete random thought the other day. I don't know why I had it, but I said, you know what? I've always seen those campsite. You always see those videos of the MREs, the military ready-to-eat meals or something. Meals ready to eat. I don't really know the saying for it. I just know the military uses them. But I thought, why don't I try? I mean, I can't get my hands on the military ones, or they're probably really expensive. But I got a campsite lasagna, beef lasagna, okay, from Walmart, all right? And the whole thing, actually, if you're looking, is only 440 calories. So not terribly caloric. You know, we could fit it in the daily needs, okay? And I was at Walmart last week, and I said, you know what? Why not? Let's go ahead and get the coffee as well. Campground coffee you can make. So this, all you gotta do for both, boil some water, throw it in the package, stir it, let it sit for like 5-10 minutes, basically. Stir it again halfway. I'm not gonna lie, I tried a couple bites of it. It is really dangerous. I thought I was gonna take a couple bites of it and just be like, this isn't for me. I wasted $10 on it. Yeah, the price point on that, $9.99. Are we serious right now? I gotta pay that much to eat lasagna at camp? What am I? Garfield would have a heart attack. I mean, this is ridiculous. However, the taste is fantastic. I can't lie. I'm going to smash this entire thing. Absolutely. I would recommend it. 10 out of 10. The price point stinks, but the flavor is absolutely worth it. If I go camping in the future, I might stock up on like 10 of those. So whoever I go camping with, I'm sorry in advance, because I will probably be blowing up the toilet. But it's what it is. The coffee, it's campground coffee. All you do is boil some water and, you have the filter thing basically anchored onto the sides of the mug, and you pour the water into the filter, let the, coffee grind seep through, make some coffee, is what it is, yada, yada, yada. I added a little bit of creamer to it. But it's not bad. I can't complain. I think it was a pack of 4 for like $5 or $6. Not terrible. I mean, I go to Dutch Bros up the road and spend $8 on one coffee. And then the freaking people that are out there taking the order always turn the iPad around and they're like, oh, and one last question. Don't feel obligated to. You're standing right outside my car pointing the iPad at me, and I know you can see it. You see what I choose, okay? Like, I'm obligated. I have to leave a tip at that point. Don't get me riled up, man. I got enough Billy Napier shit to get me riled up later in the episode. But regardless, welcome back to Shed Talk. I know we did one release last week. I think we did, well, I guess we technically did 2, but we did one. We recorded on Wednesday night, released it. I had a super busy week at work and everything. I was gone for the weekend. I was on a little bachelor trip with 2 of my friends, Mike and Zach. We went to the Rays game Friday night, and we went to Busch Gardens on Saturday. So it was a fun weekend. I can't complain. Why would I complain? No complaints at all from me. We have got this shirt on. If you can't see, it is a picture from a TV show, Frog and Toad. It's a frog and a toad eating cookies at a table, and the caption on it says, "We must stop eating," cried Toad as he ate another. And you guys might be wondering, a couple things. A, Andy, why do you own that? Fair point. I'm not going to elaborate on that. I don't need to. I plead the fifth on that. But B, the more important point that I wanted to talk about is, why are you wearing it? So why do you own it? And also, why are you wearing it? I am wearing this because I think this resembles the University of Florida's athletic department. And that is, we must stop employing Billy Napier this instant, as we continue to employ him another week. It is the bye week. Florida is 1-3. They just keep looking worse and worse. Fire him. Oh my goodness. There's literally nothing. There's no reason not to fire him at all. The only reason I could think of is I read somewhere the other day that basically said, I believe if we wait 2 more weeks, so they have a bye week this week, and next week they play host to the University of Texas Longhorns. Horns down, bitches. But I read something that I believe that if they wait till after that game, the buyout reduces $1 million. $1 million. I don't know how much truth that is to it. You know how the internet is. If you read anything on the internet, it has to be true. Shout out to Cooper, my boy Cooper. He absolutely gets bamboozled by a lot of the stuff he sees on the internet, unfortunately. But besides the point, if that's what you're waiting for, okay, whatever. But if it doesn't come after 2 weeks, and that's true that the buyout reduces by $1 million, and you don't fire him, you're literally it's just the definition of insanity. It is. I'm insane because I wake up, I don't really use dating apps that much. I don't do much outside of work. I don't go out much on the weekends. I am scared to talk to women, but here I am thinking I'm going to meet my wife one day, and on top of that, hopefully soon I'm going to meet my wife one day. But that's the definition of insanity. I do nothing to potentially meet a girl, but I just think she's going to fall into my lap one day. Andy, you're an idiot. But you know who's the bigger idiot? Scott Strickland. And you know what the bigger idiot that Scott Strickland is? The U.S. Sports Department, whoever the hell extended him 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, whatever it was. Oh my goodness. I'm getting riled up already. There is no reason to keep him any longer. For those of you who don't know, Florida lost to Miami and Coral Gables 26-7 last weekend. Now, after last week's rant, DJ Uigelli, DJ turned the ball over. I don't even care what you want to call him. He threw 5 picks in Death Valley, okay? He looked terrible. We have an improvement, baby. He didn't throw a single interception against the vaunted LSU Tiger, or against the vaunted Miami Dolphins defense. Dolphins. Jesus Christ, Andy, do some preparation. The Miami Hurricanes. He didn't throw a single interception against the Miami Hurricanes, okay? You guys may think, oh my God. If you didn't hear that score just 30 seconds ago, he went toe-to-toe with Miami. Carson Beck might have had his way with Florida's defense. Florida's defense might have finally had an off night after carrying them the first 3 weeks. Wrong. DJ was so scared to throw an interception that he just didn't throw the ball to the receivers. It was terrible. He finished the night with 57 passing yards, I am pretty sure. I will pull it up real quick. It was embarrassing. At least at LSU, he threw a touchdown, and he reached triple digits in passing yards. DJ reached 61 passing yards. He threw the ball 23 times and had a net total of 61 passing yards. You averaged less than 3 yards per attempt. Quick math, Andy, right there. You see that? Pretty girls that are listening, I know you are. I'm cool. I'm good at math. That's all I'm good at. You average less than 3 yards a pass. Oh my God. It's not like you threw the ball 10 times. You threw it 23 times. We ran the ball 29 times. We tried. We tried to give you a more run-heavy approach. The problem is the defense, everyone in the stadium, everybody watching, everybody in America, everybody in freaking Uganda, you couldn't throw the ball worth a dick. Oh my God, DJ. And we're back. Relax, take a breath. Florida gets smoked in Coral Gables. It's not even a headline game anymore. I don't really care. I know college game, they went there. That had to have been a preconceived notion preseason that they were just going there. Whatever. College football, what we're going to talk about tonight, obviously, as we do every show, college football recap. Probably won't go much into next week. You know, the primer, we'll probably save that for later in the week. But college football, NFL recap. I want to talk about, I was at the Rays game. I'm not going to lie. Every sip of this campground coffee, it's growing on me. Now, you might be watching this thinking, when did you record this, Andy? I'm recording this on Tuesday night, September 23rd, at 6:37 p.m. We started it actually almost right at 6:30. So, what idiot is drinking coffee at 6:30 at night? Me, this idiot is, because A, I hate myself, and B, I am just very dedicated to the pod. I wanted to try this for you guys, just in case you guys had any thoughts to go to Walmart and buy the beef lasagna Mountain House brand campground meal and campground coffee. Just in case you had any thought, you at least had an idea of what it tastes like. Wow, that's growing on me. I can't lie. But we're gonna talk about NFL, college football. I went to the Rays game on Friday with my friends, and I want to talk about that a little bit. But you know what? We might as well just go ahead and talk about that. We went to the Rays game on Friday night, as I literally just stated, you idiot. And I'm not going to lie, they were facing Garrett Crochet, who, for those of you who don't know, is a pitcher for the Boston Red Sox. He is arguably a top 5 pitcher in baseball right now. Absolutely disgusting. That campground coffee is making me give the hiccups or something. I don't know what's going on. But I went into it with little hope. So did my buddy Michael, who's also a diehard Rays fan, because Rays have been struggling. Season's over. Season's dead. I don't really care what I said a couple weeks ago in that first podcast episode when I said the Rays are alive and well. There's a stake driven through their heart literally that weekend. I was an idiot. I talked too early. That's on me. I talked out of turn. And usually when I talk out of turn, it leads to just bullshit coming out of my mouth. Usually when I talk out of turn, the girls just ghost me. So I try not to. So now I talk out of turn in sports, and look what happens. The Rays just get killed right away. But I had little hopes. But first inning, Rays took a lead. Boston tied it up. Rays took a lead again. Boston tied it up again. Rays took a lead again. It was 3-2 going into the seventh inning, I believe. And one of the Rays' best relievers, Garrett Clevenger, came in, gave up a 2-run bomb. It's 4-3. Okay, you know what? Whatever. It is what it is. We can come back from that. The problem about that home run is that it came from Jarren Duran, the outfielder for the Red Sox, who, let's just say, to put it kindly, last year was not in, how do I put this in the best way possible? Was treading some dangerous water with the LGBT community. He got picked up on a hot mic saying something regarding someone saying he needed a tennis racket because he kept striking out. So if you want any more information on that, just go to Google, hit up the Googleinator, DuckDuckGo, whatever you use for your searching purposes. Safari, I don't really care. Just look up Jarren Duran tennis racket, okay? You'll thank me later. You're welcome. So every at bat, his first 3 at bats, he was hitting leadoff. I just kept yelling, tennis racket, you need a tennis racket. And it kept getting out. So I figured it was working. His 4th at bat came around and he clobbered one over the wall in right field. So I took the blame. I think that was my fault. And also it's not my fault. Just like I said, when sports betting, anytime a bet doesn't hit, it is never my fault. Just like you guys, it is never your fault. The players either sucked that day when they shouldn't have. The coaches just didn't come up with a good enough game plan. It's never your fault, okay? Rule number 1 of betting, well, rule number 1 is don't. But rule number 2 is if you do, it's never your fault. Never blame yourself because it just is. That's preposterous. But he had a 2-run home run. It is what it is. 4-3. If we lose a nail biter, we lose a nail biter. I'm eyeing down that lasagna in the bowl right now. Like, I literally feel like Garfield right now. I feel like, I don't even know. I'm going to devour that when I take a break. But the problem is in the 8th inning, one of the relievers for Tampa got in trouble, so they brought in this guy who was making his debut. And no, home run came in the 6th inning. They were up in the 6th. They were up 4-3. 7th inning, he comes in with 2 outs, gets the guy out. Really cool major league debut. Nice job, Cole Wilcox. You're doing awesome, man. You got the 1 out. Let's bring in some other guy to finish this out. Give us a chance these last 2 innings. Nope. Kevin Cash brings that guy back out, and oh my goodness. After the game, they were advertising a drone show, like a little drone laser show after the game. Instead of fireworks and all that, they do a drone laser show. Unbeknownst to the Tampa Bay media team and the broadcast team and the fans, the laser show started in the 8th inning because Cole Wilcox just started giving up laser after laser. I mean, you had to hide your kids, dude. That was dangerous what was happening. They gave up 7 runs in the 8th. The game was over. It was over with. Every Tampa fan that was in attendance, which was outnumbered by all the Red Sox fans, they just started leaving because the season's over. The game's over. What the hell are we watching? It was terrible. Aside from that, the bigger Rays news. The season's over. They have a week left. I don't really care. I could not give less of a shit. I'm not going to be watching. But what was awesome was yesterday, I believe. I think it was yesterday after work, around 4:30, 5 o'clock, the news broke that the sale of the team became final to none other than Patrick Zalewski, CEO of Dreamfinders Homes, who, I don't know if anyone knows this, I'm employed there. So if I ever blow up, if this podcast ever blows up, I might need to delete this episode so no one can get this information on me. But I don't care. People are going to track it down regardless. And also, we're not going to blow up. It's okay. But I need to hit up, hey, Patrick Zalewski, Mr. PZ, I know you're listening because I know you're a big fan of the show. I'm repping Dreamfinders well. You have your new personal scout for the Rays, okay? Putting it out there. And I know. We know what we're capable of. We can turn this Rays franchise around and become an absolute powerhouse, okay? PZ, stop messing around. Stop playing around. just hit my line, okay? You know where to find me. I'm at my cubicle all the time, all right? Thank you. I'm glad we got that settled. Okay, so I had to take a little bit of a break. I absolutely crushed that lasagna bowl. I'm not going to lie. I think the camera was still on because I had stopped it, but I was still in this studio on this website. So anyone at Riverside, if you saw me inhale that lasagna, I need to delete that footage. Expedite, okay? I finished the coffee too. I didn't want to get too late, so now I'm washing it down with a Cherry Coke Zero. Look at that can. This might be a top 10 design of a soda can ever. I mean, look at that. That is sick. If they put cold beer in this, I'd crush 12 in a day. 12 daily. I don't even care. This is a sick can. So some of you might be thinking, wow, Eddie, you are all over the place with your drinks and everything tonight. I hate to break it to you. It's not just tonight. It is literally every night. It's just I have a camera on now, so we're documenting just how insane I am. And weird, I guess you could say in a good way. But let's get on to the main topics tonight. College football happened obviously on Saturday, so we're going to do that first because NFL happened on Sunday. But I figured let's do the top 25 rankings first so we can kind of pick and choose whatever games we want. Not a ton of huge shuffling, I feel like, this weekend, especially at the top. I mean, Miami jumps up to 2. There were 4. Be honest with you, I don't really know why. They literally just killed a deer, like a wounded deer that was already dead, basically. Like, you basically are just beating a dead horse by beating Florida. Already, we're about into the season, and by beating Florida, you're literally just beating a dead horse. It does nothing. I don't really care. It was 26-7. Miami's offense, I'm not going to lie, looked horrible. Carson Beck is, I'm not trashing him, but he didn't look great. I think it also is a testament to just how good Florida's defense is. It just sucks that it's being wasted by such an anemic offense and an inept head coach and an inept quarterback and an inept viewer like me who continues to torture himself by watching and following. Get back on track, Andy. But Miami moves up 2. I'm a little surprised by that. They jumped Penn State and LSU. I don't think either of those teams played this weekend, if we're being honest. So maybe that's why. I don't really understand why you're being penalized for not playing, though. It doesn't really make much sense to me. It is what it is. Again, we have so much beef with the AP Top 25 poll every single week. Yeah, I should just start making my own. I really should. If I could get with editing and actually make social media pages for this, for like Instagram, TikTok, I don't know, maybe. Nah, that's about it. I don't have Twitter. I don't think I'm gonna post to Facebook for this crap. But still, I don't understand it. But it is what it is. Whatever. Oregon stays put. Georgia stays put. LSU, Penn State will drop one because they got jumped. Oklahoma with a good win against Michigan. No, idiot. Oklahoma with a good win against Auburn. Thank you. Oklahoma's facing its old quarterback, Jackson Arnold. I mentioned this on the pod. And I didn't really like their ability to throw the ball. I will say they made it a game. Auburn was in the game a lot longer than I thought. I thought Oklahoma's offense would make more plays. It was 22-17. They got a safety at the end. It was weird, but they backdoor covered at the end. But I expected Oklahoma to win. Didn't really expect it for them to struggle that much, to be honest with you. I didn't think Auburn's defense would hold up that well. So props to them, I guess, but you still lost the game. So no more victories here. Florida State drops a spot for just dismantling Kent State. Kent State I previewed at the beginning of the season as one of the top 5 worst teams, the bottom 5 teams in college football. And so far, hey, they already won a game though. But so far they are playing like one of the bottom 5 teams in the NFL or in the NCAA. It is what it is. I don't really understand why you drop one. Whatever. It's what it is. We're arguing semantics at this point. Texas drops 2 spots. Little odd. Again, I still think they were ranked too high to begin with. Especially following that loss to Ohio State. I still think they were ranked too high. And then the whole, what are we doing here? Arch Manning, let me angle this camera. Arch Manning rushes a touchdown in against, mind you, Sam Houston State. A completely irrelevant team in football, okay? And the defender tries to tackle him, goes down in the end zone, he's on the ground, and Arch just stands over him like that. And I'm like, dude, what are we doing here? You guys are absolutely cooked. You're lucky you start SEC play at Florida, or else almost any other team would beat you guys. This is such a terrible look. You've been terrible so far this season. Arch Manning, he has been horrible this season. So far, completely ruining expectations in the worst way possible. And you hoop against Sam Houston State, who you absolutely should dice up. And then you have the nerve to just flex and stand over a guy in the end zone? Brother, oh my God. Whatever stock anyone has left in Arch Manning, sell it. Just sell it, burn it. Texas is going 8-4 at best. I'm calling it. They're 3-1. I think they go 5-3 at best in SEC play. I'll pull up the schedule again. Actually, we already did. I'm not doing it. I think Texas goes 8-4. I don't think that team is that good. The biggest jumper we'll say the biggest fall in the AP Top 25 poll is Illinois. They dropped to 23. And to be honest with you, the only reason why they're still ranked is, again, an AP flaw, is because they were ranked 9th. And they lost to a ranked team. They don't want to drop a ranked team out of the rankings that was ranked top 10 for losing to another ranked team. They never will. Almost never. And you know why? Because case in point, Saturday night, Illinois travels to Indiana, okay? And they get absolutely throttled, okay? Indiana beats them 63-10. This game was over at halftime. It was 35-10 at halftime. Wow. I thought Illinois was ranked too high to begin with. I'm not jumping on the bandwagon, one of those guys that's like in hindsight, they shouldn't have been that high to begin with. They just lost by 53 to Indiana. No, idiots. I thought they were too high to begin with. I got a document. But the fact that they're still ranked is insane. Your first test, you beat Duke, okay? The scoreboard against Duke looks like you killed him. It was a close game for a while. You pulled away at the end. Hey, those touchdowns happen, all right? So you killed Duke. That was your only test up to this point. It is what it is. Indiana hadn't really had a test either. Your first test, you lose by 53. What ranked team deserves to, or actually, what team deserves to be ranked after losing by 53? I won't even give you guys the time to answer on your end while you're watching this. None! No team deserves to be ranked after losing by 53. The only time maybe you should be ranked after getting throttled by like 40 plus is if your first string quarterback gets hurt, your second string quarterback gets hurt, and your third string quarterback gets hurt, and you're running out like a freaking scout team or a receiver playing quarterback, and you're running wildcat every play, and it's just ugly. Okay, that's the only time I would understand keeping a team ranked at that point. But you lost to a team ranked below you. Again, probably shouldn't have been, but you lost to a team ranked below you by 53. You lost to them by 53. You should not be ranked. I'm probably, beating a dead horse here. I think I might be hanging on to this for too long. I don't care. Like, it's just, that's how it is. It should not, whatever. AP Top 25, you suck. Indiana, go Hoosiers. Hoosier Daddy. Kurt Cignetti for president. Kirk Cignetti, Jacob Cooper, close your ears real quick. Kirk Cignetti, next Florida head coach, pretty please, and thank you. If he were to ever leave Indiana, how about that? If he stays in Indiana, that's cool. I'm not going to be back. But if he leaves Indiana, why don't you hitch your ride up and drive all the way down to lovely Gainesville, Florida? Pack up Billy Napier's office for his office. His office stinks. Moving on. I was dead wrong about Utah. Wow. They were at home. You have your own atmosphere. I remember Florida played there, a couple years ago to start the season, and the Utah stadium's pretty cool. It's a little bit smaller, obviously, than an SEC stadium, but the crowd is right on you, so it's loud. It can be deafening when the crowd is into it. Okay, and so I thought Texas Tech, ton of transfers, ton of new talent. I thought this is their first real test on the road against a seasoned Utah head coach, against a seasoned Utah team. Like, this team is used to it, is ready for these, these dog fights, the ugly, we're going to grind it out. We will beat you we will beat you down until we just grind out and win in the end. I thought Utah would come out with it 2017, maybe something like that, 23-20. Boy, was I wrong. Utah's offense looked horrible. Their offensive line got abused by Texas Tech. And Texas Tech came away with this game 34-10, I believe. 34-10. It got a little uglier in the end, but still, they were never trailing. It was 10-3 at half, 10-3 going to the fourth quarter, and they put up 24 on Utah. Wow. The closest it got was 13-10, and then Texas Tech just said, okay, that was fun. Thanks for playing. We're just going to go ahead and end this right now, and score 21 to end the game. Mind you, that was on a backup quarterback as well. Texas Tech's quarterback, I don't know if he got hurt, if he got taken out or something, if he was struggling. I don't think he was struggling. I think he got hurt. And their backup came in, and it looked like the offense never missed a beat. They just completely dismantled Utah. And after seeing that game, after seeing the highlights, I Texas Tech to the Big 12 championship. I said it last week. I thought that game had Big 12 championship implications. I think it absolutely did. I think Texas Tech not going to cakewalk and steamroll to the Big 12 championship. Maybe not, but they might lose a game or two. I think we'll see them in. I don't even know where the Big 12 championship is. Maybe in Texas somewhere. I don't really know. That's on me. I'll take the blame for that. But we'll see you there. Utah, you got some soul searching to do. You do. You got punched in the face. You got beat at your own game, and you got dominated by your own game. So you got some soul searching to do, man. As bad as Florida has been, and as disappointing as the offense has been, and just overall expectations coming into the season, Joel, I am very sorry. Clemson might be a bigger disappointment. I don't want to elaborate on it, but they lost again. They lost by 2 scores to Syracuse at home. Syracuse came out again. It's weird. Clemson has had these slow starts the last 2 games against Troy and now Syracuse. They got popped in the mouth early. Defensively, you came out slow. I don't know what it is. Offensively, you couldn't get anything going either. You're just sputtering. You weren't playing complimentary football. No one was in a rhythm. And at that point, it's like 21-7 already. And you're already in a hole. And it's like, whoa, you literally just started this game. I haven't even taken my first quarter shit yet, and we're already down by 2 scores. What are we doing? Wow, it is. You want to talk about scary hours in Florida. It is scary hours in Clemson, in the other Death Valley. It really is. Dabo went on some absolute all-timer rant tirade last week before the game in like a Wednesday press conference. Talking about, Clemson's tired of winning, then they should just fire me. Whoa, hey, buddy. No one was saying that. You guys were 1-2 at the time. You lost that. No, sorry. You guys were 1-1 at the time. You lost to LSU and you beat Troy. You've done so much at Clemson. No one was talking about firing. I think you are making this something when there was nothing there. I know some fans are mad and upset, and rightfully so, but why are you talking about Clemson should just get rid of you if they're tired of winning? You're not winning, really. You returned all this talent from last year, and you got a couple guys out of the transfer portal, which you finally decided to dive into and use, and you've completely just come out and pooped on yourself. You peed down your legs so far the first 3 games of the season. I don't know. I don't know what narrative this is, because it's you're making it up. No one was. Now we're thinking about it because you brought it up and you lost by another 2 scores to a school that just played Toothpaste University last weekend. Syracuse played Colgate University. Toothpaste U as a warm-up for you, Clemson. If I was a Florida fan, I am a Florida fan. If Florida played Syracuse and the week prior Syracuse played Colgate as a little tune-up for Florida and Florida got beat by 2 scores, oh my God, this shed might be burned down. That was terrible. What are we doing? I know, I get it. Steven Jelly's transferred into Syracuse. He's been a top 5 passer, and RIP to his Achilles. He's out for the season. It sucks to see it. I hate it. But how do you not stop this guy? I don't understand. Like, what's going on right now? I don't understand. Are the coordinator hires? Like, are these the same guys from last year? Are they just not panning out? I think Kenny Kublik again. I said what I said about him. I didn't think he was a great elite quarterback, but he should be good enough to be Syracuse. You should be. I'm going off on a tangent here. I know Joel's going to get mad if he listens to this. I'm sorry. We're going to keep moving along. Other than that, there weren't really any, big headliner games. Missouri beat South Carolina, and I'm pretty sure Lenore Sellers played. He did. Lenore Sellers played. He threw for 300 yards, and they lost 29-20. This was a weird, like, week leading up to it prior. My back is killing me. I am sorry if I'm moving all over the place. My back is killing me. But it was weird. Shane Beamer was he's kind of like Billy Napier. He was very keeping everything close to the chest in terms of the injury report and not really wanting to give any updates on Lenore Sellers. And then towards the end of the week, it was like, hey, there's rumblings that he is going to play. And the spread, which opened up at, I think, 13.5, shrunk, but only to like 8.5, 9.5 points. And if it was 8.5, Missouri covered because they won by 9. But it was weird. I mean, I didn't think Missouri was a touchdown better than South Carolina coming into this game, but clearly they were. I didn't really, sorry if this is, a little naive, but I didn't really study up on this game at all. I didn't really see the highlights on box score watching, but Lenore Sellis throws for 300 yards and you only scored 20 points. And he didn't, I don't know, 18 for 28, 302 yards. It's not the best completion percentage, but you're averaging over 10 yards per attempt. He didn't turn the ball over. So it's just weird. Here it is. They could not run the ball at all. What was this game plan, South Carolina? Beaver ball. What are we doing? Your leading rusher was 2 carries for 7 yards and 3 carries for 7 yards. What? Respectfully, what the hell is that? That's terrible. How do you have 22 carries for -9 yards and you're an SEC team? You're not facing prime Bama's defensive line. You're facing Missouri. What? What is this? What am I want to puke all over myself. What is it? I'm glad I didn't watch this game. That was horrible. That's terrible. I don't even want to elaborate on that. Missouri, that was actually a really good win. Bo Prabula, the Missouri quarterback, transferred him from Penn State. Wow. He's looking better than Drew Aller, might I say. Who's at Penn State still, their starter. What happens if they would have kept him? I don't know. All hypotheticals. I live in hypotheticals, but still. But I will prep next week's, or I guess next weekend's college football games at the later pod. I'll get back on the parlay, the sicko parlay of the week. I'll try to come up with all that. I know we were super busy last week. I just really wanted to get an episode out. But moving along, we will go on to NFL now. Okay, week 3 of NFL is officially in the books, and I'm not going to lie. As a Jags fan, I'm biased, obviously, but that was a hell of a week. It got started with a boring snoozer. Actually, it ended up being a good game. It was a good game. Dolphins and Bills. The score ended up being 31-21. It was a close game. Dolphins surprisingly hung around. It was weird. Tua they just stink, man, as a team, as an offense. I'm not calling anyone in particular out besides maybe Mike McDaniel, the head coach. Taking a sip of my zero sugar cherry Coke. And I'm just saying, again, this can is sexy. I would call the can sexy. Only for this one. But surprisingly, they hung with them. Bills pulled away in the end. The biggest surprise of the week for me was the Packers lost to the Browns. Oh my goodness. What the hell, man? That's just pitiful, man. That is pitiful. You lost 13-10. You were up 10-0 going into the fourth quarter, and you give up 13 to the lowly Browns. Look, the Browns defense we all know is great. It has been great. It will be great. It's going to keep them at least somewhat. It's going to try to keep them in the majority of games this season, as long as the offense doesn't just go 3 and out every drive, turn the ball over. As long as the offense is just get some first downs, maybe have some ball control, maybe score here and there, that it might win a couple games. The defense might win them a couple games, but whatever. Go Pat, go! A very interesting week. Very interesting game next week because the Packers play host to the Cowboys. I think they're at home against the Cowboys, and that'll be. I think Packers are gonna blow them out. Cowboys are without CeeDee Lamb. Micah Parsons' revenge game against his old team. Expect Packers to win big. I'm just saying. I think so. Colts just keep on rolling. What? Whoa! I just burped really freaking loud right there. Good Lord, I gotta edit that out. That was terrible. But restart, erase, reboot. Here we go, Jacob Cooper. This is for you. The Indianapolis Colts are 3-0. Okay, Daniel Jones. Literally, he is an MVP candidate through 3 weeks. He has actually better numbers than Josh Allen so far through 3 weeks. They're 3-0. They put up 41 on the Titans. I know the Titans aren't thought of very highly, but they always have a nasty defense, like the Browns. They have a nasty defense that's going to try to keep them in every game. But the Colts went up and put up 41 on them. I mean, good Lord, dude. This is crazy. In 3 games, the Colts have put up 103 points. They're averaging, 34 points a game, basically? 34 and a third. Quick Andy math right there. Ladies, please, somebody scoop me up. But they put up 33, 29, and 41. Mind you, they put up 29 last week on the Broncos, who have a really good defense, who I had arguably the number 1 defense in the league last year, and the Titans, who are perennially, I think, a top 10 defense as well. It's like, it's crazy. I mean, you have to think, logically speaking, they'll come back down to earth at some point, but it's like, it's not like Daniel Jones is playing hero ball, where he's, accounting for 300, 400 yards every week. I mean, it is the entire offense. It's an all-around machine right now, which is terrifying as a Jags fan. It's terrifying because Jonathan Taylor leads the league in rushing, I'm pretty sure. He either leads the league or is second. I'm pretty sure he's first. But he's also a receiving threat out of the backfield, so he's not just running the ball. He had another 100 yards against Tennessee, who's supposed to have a really good run defense. And you got Michael Pittman Jr., you've got A.D. Mitchell, you've got Allen Pierce, you've got Josh Downs, you've got everybody in this receiving game. You've got Tyler Warren, who's a great tight end as well. It's scary. It's insane how good they look. I don't know. I'm really happy for them. I would much rather the Colts be 3-0 than the Texans or Titans. Thank God they are 0-3. I hate those teams. I hate them. But all I'm saying is, when the Colts and Jags meet up, I think it's going to be a really good game. I genuinely think it's going to be a really good game. The Jags won a thriller against the Texans. And boy, it was a god-awful offensive game. But I don't care. Any game the Jags win, I don't care. A win's a win. It's a great win in my book. You beat Houston at home for the first time in nearly a decade. You hadn't beat them at home since 2017, okay? You split with them in 2023. Each team won the road game. 2022, same thing. 2021, we got swept. Yada, yada, yada. Jags been bad. But you beat them at home finally for the first time in a decade. How about this? The Jags are 2-0 at home for the first time in I don't know how long. It's been a really freaking long time. I'm not joking. I wish I was joking. But the Texans, man, their season might be over. I mean, Texans and Titans, both 0-3 teams face off this weekend in Houston, thankfully for them, NRG Stadium. It's scary hours, man. I'm not even that confident in saying the Texans will win that game. Their offense just looks... I don't know, man. It's a new system. I get it. Their offense just doesn't look great. No one's on the same page. There's no rhythm there. They've got guys. Let me say this. Their O-line is horrible. The Jags edge rushers, Josh Allen and Trayvon Walker. I know Josh Allen is easily, in my opinion, a top 10 edge rusher in the league. Trayvon is more of like an all-around guy as well. They consistently beat Houston's tackles. They consistently beat their offensive tackles all game. I mean, they were winning almost every rep, it felt like. And I mean, they took the game off. You don't see that too often in an NFL game. The edge guys just dominating that much against an O-line. That's like more of like college. You see that. And the offseason, I asked this question to my friends all the time. It was, I don't know what the Texans were doing in terms of like what their plan was for the offensive line. I know they've had an injury or two to start the season, but good Lord, they are trying to get CJ Stroud killed. That offense it just doesn't look great. It shows like flashes real quick of like, there's that old Houston offense, and then it just goes right back to what it is now, which is just anemic. There's not a ton of big plays. I don't know, man. It's tough. But I don't care. I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining at all. Let them struggle the whole season, dude. Let Houston go 1-16 for all I care. I don't care. Whatever. Moving on. The Chargers are 3-0, man. Hey, you guys got a 2-game lead in the division right now over the Chiefs. I'm just saying. Chiefs are 1-2. Broncos are 1-2, and the Raiders are 1-2. Man, Chargers. And you got the win over Kansas City so far. So you've already got that one divisional win. You've got another divisional win over... Actually, wait a minute. Who did this scheduling? I just realized this. What an epiphany I just had. The Chargers are 3-0. Their first 3 games were all divisional opponents. What the hell are we doing here? Why? Their first 3 games were against their 3 AFC West opponents, the Chiefs, the Raiders, and the Broncos. What kind of scheduling is that? You're halfway done with your divisional games, and it's September still. We still have a whole week left of September. Who planned that? I mean, good for the Chargers. They took advantage of it. They've built themselves up a cushion already. You're up 2 games on everyone in the division. You're 3-0 in the division. I mean, that's crazy. What in the world? That's crazy. I didn't realize that. Wow, what a little tidbit right there. Nice job, Andy. Pat myself on the back. But let me take a sip. Chargers look really dangerous. Jags host them this season, so thankfully maybe being at home with the West Coast team traveling there would help them out. The Chargers look like a machine, man. Justin Herbert he's playing like an MVP candidate. The Chargers defense is always nasty. It's going to keep him in most games. They got some playmakers. Quentin Johnson looks like he's turned a corner now. Ladd McConkey is just Ladd McConkey. He's good. Najee got hurt. I think he tore his Achilles, so RIP to Peace, man. But Omarion Hampton, the rookie running back, he shows a lot of promise. I think he'll be fine. Chargers are good. It's that simple. Chargers are good. The Eagles, what a game. The Rams were up 26-7 in the third quarter. I think it was the third quarter. Eagles go peak Eagles, man. They've been a run-heavy team. Jalen Hurts has had a passing touchdown through the first 2 weeks. And they come out, they're down 3 scores in the second half. And you know what they do? All right, we'll show you how we win another way. You guys think we can only win doing the tush push and running it and not throwing it to our freaking all-pro receivers? Okay, we'll show it to you. We're down 2-3 scores. We'll give the Rams a 3-score lead. They come all the way back. They take the lead 27-26. The Rams peak, just prime Matthew Stafford, drives them down the field. They're set up for a walk-off field goal as time expires. The Eagles won't get the ball back. And oh my God, the Eagles' devil magic, man. They block the field goal and return it for a touchdown to put the icing on the cake. Eagles win 33-26. Holy shit, man. I don't get it, dude. This Philly sports teams are just crazy. The fan bases are crazy. They got some just weird juju, man. It's insane. It's a hostile territory when you go in there, both sports-wise and safety-wise, if we're being honest. We're keeping it a buck. But it's crazy. Eagles are 3-0. They'll face the Bucks, who are also 3-0, so that might be the game of the week next weekend. Both teams 3-0. It's prime playoff contenders already. It's a playoff matchup already, it feels like. But the rest of the games are some good games, but not great matchups. Honestly, the Chiefs-Giants Sunday Night Football game was an absolute snoozer. I didn't even watch it. It was that boring. But I did have one takeaway from that game. I talked to it with my buddies at lunch today. I am going to start a narrative because the New York Giants starting quarterback was Russell Wilson for the first 3 games, and their starting running back was Tyrone Tracy Jr. for the first 3 games. Now, if you aren't aware, both of them are of the African-American descent. They are black, okay? Black excellence, man. Starters in the NFL. Can't get much better than that. And being paid. Let's go. Now, all of a sudden, in week 4, why is Jackson Dart, the rookie, starting at quarterback now? Russell Wilson's been benched. And Tyrone Tracy gets hurt, so immediately Cam Scatterbo has now assumed the starting position at running back. Or the starting role at running back. So, riddle me this, Brian Dable. I am on to you. Why all of a sudden do the Giants go from a pair of black excellent players, Russell Wilson, seasoned vet, he has the accolades, he's a freaking Hall of Famer probably, and Tyrone Tracy, who showed a ton of upside and flashes last year, to now all of a sudden they're both on the shelf. And now we have 2 white guys starting at quarterback and running back. Brian Dable and the New York Giants, I am on to you. I'm on your case. I'm watching you. I'm starting the narrative. But don't say when this takes off, don't say I wasn't on it first, okay? Okay, thank you. All right? Yeah. Enough of the Giants. That's by the rest of the Giants talk we'll have for the rest of the season because they are terrible. They're 0-3. Both New York teams are 0-3, by the way. Jets are 0-3, Giants are 0-3. Just pitiful. Just horrible. Whatever. Last game of the week was the Lions and Ravens in Monday Night Football last night, and boy, was that a bang. I feel bad for the Ravens. I mean, they've had some tough matchups in the first 3 weeks of the season. They had the Bills on the road in Sunday Night Football to start the season. Then you had the Browns week 2. You stomped and whatever. You lost a heartbreaker to the Bills. You did. You blew a big lead, and you lost a heartbreaker. Then against the Lions last night, it was just a shootout, man. It was an absolute shootout, back and forth. Lions took the lead in the second. At halftime, it was 14-14, 21-0 in the third quarter. Lions do what Lions do, man. The Dan Campbell-led Lions, like after week 1, I'll admit, I had my doubts. I thought they might have had a drop-off with the 2 coordinators leaving. You might have seen like a little retooling here, trying to, both sides of the ball had to learn new systems, a little bit new personnel. We got to even see if these new coordinators fit. It doesn't matter, man. It doesn't matter. Dan Campbell is a freaking genius. He is a leader of men. He's just a freaking, he's a dude's dude. He's so hard to root against. You can't root against him. I know if you're like, the Packers fan or the Vikings fan or Bears fan, division rival, I get it. But as a person, dude, Dan Campbell's awesome. He's a great leader. And clearly, the Lions are in good hands with him. The coordinators weren't doing all the heavy lifting. But Derrick Henry, 3rd fumble of the season already. That's concerning. I think he'll be fine. It's Derrick Henry, man. He's first ballot Hall of Famer, one of the best running backs to ever do it. He'll be fine. He'll bounce back. Honestly, this bodes well for the Ravens rest of the season because Derrick Henry's going to be on a revenge tour all season when he doesn't even need to be, but he's going to be, and it's going to be a bloodbath for everyone gets in his way going forward. I'm just gonna say that. But Lions beat the Ravens 38-30. It was an instant classic. David Montgomery, 150 rushing yards on the ground, 2 tutties, and Jahmyr Gibbs also 2 touchdowns on the ground as well. Crazy. Just Lions can just beat you in so many ways, man. Their defense is so good. Their passing attack is great. They got Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jameson Williams. Sorry, Chase, about that. J-Mo had 2 catches, 43 yards on the first drive. Didn't get a touch the rest of the game. That stinks. That stinks. I'm sorry for Chase's fantasy team. But you've got, what's his name? Sam Laporta at tight end. You've got Jahmyr Gibbs out in the backfield receiving. Even Dave Montgomery can catch it a little bit. I mean, the Lions are so good, man. It's crazy. Jared Goff throwing the ball. It's crazy, man. The Lions are good. They're a wagon. But overall, that's probably going to do it for this episode. I'm going to do all the priming for this weekend coming up for NFL, NCAA, all that for next weekend. We're going to do it on Thursday, maybe. I'm going to try to do it Thursday night. I think that's a good night to do it. We'll have the sicko parlay back. You guys got to hold me accountable to that. I'm going to try to do my best matchups of the week for both sides of the, both sides of the ball, NFL and NCAA. And we'll probably have some more random Andy thoughts. Probably no other campsite meals because that was $10 a pop, and Andy is balling on a budget. But if you guys do need one, the beef lasagna from Walmart, chef's kiss, 10 out of 10. The coffee's pretty damn good too. But I love you guys. Stay tuned for the next one. Let me know what you guys want to, listen to. What we're going to talk about. Maybe, hey, good conspiracies, sports, drama. I don't care. Anything. Just give me suggestions. I'm open. I'm an open book, man. But take it easy.